Hello everyone, this is Adarsh Agrawal from Actuators Educational Institute and I am here to talk about FRM examinations and how to go about it. We are going to focus mainly on part 1. So if you are already in this video, watching this video, you must be interested in FRM examinations for the future and you are hoping to give FRM examinations, and I think you are at the right place at the right time. So let's get quickly into the content of the video. So we are going to talk about what FRM is exactly. We are going to talk about the subjects and the weightages of each subjects in the FRM examinations. How many questions will be there? How are the exam patterns? Exam window. When does the exam window open? What is the exam format like? The timeline of the examination. How much duration should you be preparing for? And then we are going to talk about some strategies as well. Okay, so let's start with our first and the most basic question, what is FRM? So if I tell you, मैं बोलूँगा it's a financial risk management जो full form है, और उसे से the name is very much self-explanatory when it's a study in the field of risk basically. Which risk? Financial risk. There can be many risks in different areas. आप चलते हो तो भी रिस्क है रास्ते में, but we are mainly concerned about financial risks. So now, when comparing with other professional courses, like there's CA, CFA, and many courses. Now CA focuses mainly on finance and accounts. CFA focuses majorly in finance. ऐसे ही FRM, it focuses on risk management, financial risk. So risk can be of many type, right? आज suppose I am a debt holder, मैंने किसी को पैसा लोन पे दिया है, so that person can default on that loan, so मेरे पैसे डूबेंगे, my money, I'll be the one who is going to lose my money, lose my capital because he is not giving me back. So it is a kind of financial risk to me, right? I'm investing in markets. I'm investing my money in markets. So markets, if markets go down, if there's a recession or something, so I'm the one who is losing money. So there's a risk there as well. तो ये सब फाइनेंशियल रिस्क को कैसे मैनेज करे? इट्स नॉट अबाउट मिटिगेटिंग रिस्क, राइट? रिस्क नहीं लोगे तो कुछ ही नहीं होगा. मैं मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं करूँ तो मैं रिस्क नहीं ले रहा हूँ, बट आई एम नॉट अर्निंग एज वेल, राइट? So how to manage that risk? This course is all about that. What are the tools that we can use to manage that risk? What are the previous learnings, real life events जो हुए हैं, उसके basis में ये course बनाया गया है कि मतलब हाँ, there are these tools, so and so things that has happened and ऐसे करना है manage. So ये course उस पूरी चीज़ को cover करता है, purview को लेता है. Now, given that we have a basic background of FRM, why not delve deep into this course? So now FRM is distributed into two parts. It is distributed into two parts, right? So it is FRM part 1 and part 2. We are going to focus on part 1 today. So, and the eligibility of the FRM part 1 examination is you just need to clear your class 12. Nothing else. No other eligibility requirements. You should have cleared class 12 and obviously you should be a passport holder. Passport नहीं होगा तो you won't be able to register. So ये two basic requirements लगता है to register for FRM examinations. Now, let's come to our second topic, which is subjects in part 1. Part 2 ka we'll talk sometime later in some other video. Let's focus on part 1 today. So part 1 mein there are going to be 4 subjects, which is foundations of risk management, quantitative analysis, valuations and risk management, and financial markets and products. Okay, I'm going to write it down quickly so that we remember and talk about the weights as well. So subjects. One is foundations of risk management. Another is quantitative analysis, I'm writing QA. Another is financial markets and products, financial markets and products. Really sorry, my phone's ringing. Yeah, can be ignored. And the fourth one is valuations and risk models. Okay, so these are the four main subjects that we are going to study in FRM Part 1 examinations. Now, how are they distributed? What are the weightages? Like FRM Part 1 में there हम लोग के 100 questions होते हैं, okay? 100 multiple choice questions होते हैं. So out of those 100 multiple choice questions, 20% will be from this foundations of risk management, 20% will be from QA, quantitative analysis, 30% of the weightage will be financial markets and products, and 30% will be valuations and risk management, which is basically we can call VRM and isko FMP in short form. Okay. So now, what are the contents of these four subjects? I'll give a brief overview of all the four subjects. In foundations of risk management, it is more of a theoretical subject, and you learn about how risk management works, how it operates, kya main criteria hai, what are the different types of risks that you see. It builds the foundation, the base through which you are going to study other subjects as well, other three subjects and the FRM Part 2 as well. So it is a building block right now, the foundations of risk management. Then comes the quantitative analysis. Obviously, numbers game is important. If it's something financial, you need to be good with numbers as well, right? And that is where QA comes in. Quantitative analysis is basically mathematics and stats. In mathematics, you are going to study about time value of money. Like, आज मेरे पास 1 रुपया है, कल उसका 1.5 रुपये, उसका 1.5 हो जाता है. So there's a time value of money involved, right? Present value, accumulated value, you're going to learn that. You're going to learn probabilities. You're going to learn many statistical methods, descriptive statistical models as well, like mean निकालना, median निकालना, mode निकालना, and so. Then you're going to learn about confidence intervals and many more in QA, quantitative analysis, okay? It's more of mathematical and numerical, okay? Now comes financial markets and products. In financial markets and products, you're going to learn different various types of products that are currently in the markets, right? You see equities, many of us will be familiar with equity markets right now. Stock exchange ka baat hota hai. There are multiple indexes. We talk about Nifty 50, Sensex in India, Nasdaq, S&P 500 in America, Nikkei in Japan. So there are many indexes that we talk about in equity indexes. So those are equity market ho gaya wo. Now there's the derivative market as well, where we trade futures, options, forwards. ये सब भी होते हैं. There's credit products as well, like securitized products, asset-backed securities, mortgage-backed securities. So I have various types of product with various types of risk involved, various types of return involved with it. मैं risk appetite, मेरा कितना capability है मैं risk ले सकूँ, उसी हिसाब से I choose to invest in certain products. If my risk appetite is low, मतलब मैं उतना risk नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ, I am going to go with some fixed income securities, like loan दे दिया, मेरे को fixed income मिल रहा है. But if my risk appetite is more, right? So I'm gonna invest in equities or derivatives where losses का chance ज़्यादा होता है. Financial markets बहुत जल्दी ऊपर नीचे होता है. It is volatile. When I say volatile, it means बहुत जल्दी ऊपर नीचे कर रहा है, right? So आज ऊपर है, कल नीचे जा सकता है. But debts, fixed income securities इतना जल्दी नहीं होता है, right? So उसी हिसाब से क्या लेना चाहिए क्या नहीं, we are going to discuss in financial markets and products. In the last subject, valuations and risk models, when you have learned all these in VRM, you are going to learn कि how to apply different models, risk models जो होते हैं वो कैसे apply होते हैं in real world, एंड क्या क्या डिफरेंट टाइप के मॉडल्स होते हैं, हाउ टू वैल्यू सर्टेन प्रोडक्ट्स, इफ देयर इज अ इक्विटी, इफ देयर इज अ फिक्स्ड इनकम सिक्योरिटी, हाउ टू वैल्यू दैट प्रोडक्ट, उसका वैल्यू कैसे निकाले, वो इसमें सीखेंगे. वैल्यूएशन एंड रिस्क मॉडल्स. मैंने व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिस्क मॉडल, रिस्क तो बोल दिया, हाउ टू मेजर दैट रिस्क. VAR, value at risk, is something that you are going to learn throughout the course, apart from part 1 and part 2, and it is one of the most important measures, I must tell you. वो इसमें covered होगा. Okay, so valuations and risk models is more about applying what you have learned all throughout. Okay, so this is about subjects and weightages. So that is why you see मेन ज़्यादा वेटेज ये दोनों को दिया है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मेन कंटेंट, रियल लाइफ कंटेंट यहाँ पे लाई कर रहा है. गोइंग बैक टू आवर टॉपिक्स नाउ, टॉकिंग आउट एग्जाम विंडो. दिस इज डन. टॉकिंग आउट एग्जाम विंडो एंड फॉर्मेट. सो आई थिंक एग्जाम फॉर्मेट मैंने बोल ही दिया समझाते समझाते, दैट देर आर 100 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन. यू डोंट नीड टू राइट एनीथिंग, देयर इज नो SL टाइप क्वेश्चन कमिंग. There's only multiple choice questions. 4 options दिए रहेंगे आपको, क्वेश्चन दिया रहेगा, you need to select those 4. And I'm telling you that these 4 options will be very very close. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि अगर if the answer is cow, if the answer is suppose एक animal का name, तुमको 3 डिश का नेम दे दिया, एक एनिमल का नेम दे दिया है, इतना डिफरेंस नहीं आता है आंसर में. These are very very close and you should have a very clear concept. Okay, मैं डरा नहीं रहा हूँ, but yeah, that's the reality. So there will be 100 multiple choice questions. Okay, आपको कितने सही करने हैं, आपको as much as possible सही करने हैं. There's no certain की कट ऑफ मार्क्स की, हाँ इतना सही होने से हो जाएगा. क्वार्टाइल बेसिस में क्लियर होते हैं. There's a first quartile, second quartile, third quartile and fourth quartile. टॉप 25% श्योरली पास होते हैं हर एक सब्जेक्ट का. टॉप 25% निकलता है, सेकेंड 25% निकलता है, थर्ड 25% निकलता है. सो यू आर कम्पीटिंग विथ अदर्स दैट यू आर गिविंग एग्जामिनेशन विद. ओके, इट इज़ नॉट लाइक कि हाँ अगर 60 के ऊपर आ गया तो पास है. सो देयर इज 100 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस एंड एग्जाम विंडो. व्हेन डज द एग्जाम ऑकर? It happens yearly 3 times: May, August and November. Okay, so as per 2025, May attempt is already done when the video will be uploaded. We are left with August and November attempts. August will be very close, so November attempt is the ideal time to start preparing for FRM part 1. Okay, now talking about the cost of examinations. The cost of examination is enrollment fee आपका 400 USD लगता है. enrollment fee one time fee है which you are going to pay once for both FRM part 1 and part 2. part 2 के time कोई enrollment fee नहीं लगता है. Now registration fee, there's an early bird registration fee of 600 USD and there's a standard registration fee of 800 USD. Depends on when you register. Early bird मतलब there's a certain date. So I think it's till last of July. 1st August से standard fee लगने लग जाएगा for November attempt. So $600 you are going to save 200 USD if you register early. And if I convert that in INR terms, it's approximately equals to 19,000 approximately you are going to save if you register early. So that's a good amount. So we have talked about what is FRM, FRM part 1, subjects of FRM part 1, in the exam window and the format. Now by timeline I mean what is the timeline that you need to study. A timeline and strategy अपने को अपने group कर सकते हैं एक साथ and discuss कर सकते हैं. Okay, so what should be the strategy and timeline, right? So FRM part 1 में what are the, पहले तो materials के बारे में discuss कर लेते हैं. So there are 2 main materials that we notice in FRM examinations. One is GARP ka materials and another is Schweizer notes. Okay, Schweizer notes are much adapted way of update of GARP materials. It is summarized form of GARP material क्योंकि GARP material में बहुत ज़्यादा information होता है. It is very much informative and from an exam perspective it is very difficult to skim through GARP material. The language is difficult as well. वो डिस्क professionals के द्वारा लिखा हुआ रहता है and given we are just starting, GARP materials becomes very hard to follow through, and then Schweizer material, that is where Schweizer material comes in. Schweizer is much easier to understand and takes less time and covers everything which is not in GARP. और कुछ अगर ऐसा होता है जो Schweizer में covered नहीं है, we ensure that we deliver that in our class from GARP material. So you're not leaving anything behind. The rest assured. Okay. Now, so we are going to follow Schweizer. Schweizer say is good enough. Even I prepared from Schweizer during my time only, and that was enough for me to clear both the examinations in one go. And I believe Schweizer will will be sufficient. Yeah. Now timeline. So how to go about it? If you start today, so today's date is, I believe, 28th of June 2025, and you're preparing for November. So let's target if we complete everything by the mid of September. So mid September तक ये चारों subject अपने complete कर लेते हैं. We have 1.5 months to revise, and that is, I think, more than enough for giving mock examinations, preparing, and during this till mid of September, I'm talking about going through the content properly, practicing questions for each subjects, each chapters. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि these are important chapters, these are not. Questions कहीं से भी आ सकते हैं. But I must say कि मतलब 30 questions से ज़्यादा नहीं जाएगा VRM का, because those are the strict tranches that it has been distributed to. So we try to complete. We start with chapter book 1 only, which is Foundations of Risk Management. We go to QA, we go to Financial Markets and Products, then VRM. Okay, this is the actual line. ऐसे ही follow करो. But there are certain students जिसको QA पहले करना होता है, या FMP पहले कर सकते हैं ऐसा. But it's better if you follow 1, 2, 3 ऐसे ही, जैसे structured है show, structured है course. Okay. So that is about the timeline. Now strategy, how you go about it. Suppose you are done with Foundations and Risk Management, you are done with everything. Okay, questions and सब हो गया. You have started QA. Okay, और ऐसा भी होता है बहुत बार, you have started with QA, तो और ऐसा भी होता है बहुत बार कि तुम बोर हो गए Foundations of Risk Management पढ़ते पढ़ते. Suppose you are done with half of Foundations of Risk Management, now you are bored, you need some change. You can start with QA during that time, या कुछ और स्टार्ट कर लो, साथ में 2 सब्जेक्ट चलाओ, क्या दिक्कत है. बट इफ़ यू गो अबाउट 1 by 1, फाउंडेशंस ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट हो गया, QA स्टार्ट किया, QA का आधा के बाद गो बैक एंड रिवाइज सम ऑफ FRM, फाउंडेशंस ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. Otherwise you will tend to forget this. If you are continuously doing this, you will tend to forget this. So whenever you do anything, take 2 subjects side by side and prepare. Okay. Suppose सुबह उठ के 1 घंटा तुमने QA कर लिया, 2 घंटा QA कर लिया, तो रात को हाफ एन आवर 1 घंटा के लिए FRM फाउंडेशन ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट फिर से देख लिया. नाउ इफ़ यू मूव टू फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स एंड प्रोडक्ट्स, यू हैव 2 सब्जेक्ट इन हैंड, तो FRM एक बार रिवाइज हो गया, तो नाउ यू कैन रिवाइज QA टू विद FMP. ओके, सो इससे क्या हो रहा है, हर एक सब्जेक्ट 2 बार रिविजन ऐसे ही हो जा रहा है. Right, and it will make it easier for you in the last 1.5 months when you revise the whole subject. Because if you study one thing and forget it for next 1 month, there's a tendency that you forget what are the contents of that subject as well. So वो नहीं होने देना पहला बात तो. Okay. Practice questions as much as possible. Do questions as much as possible. कुछ नहीं छोड़ना है, कहीं से भी कंटेंट नहीं छोड़ना है. Analyst prep है, Bionic Turtle है, we provide everything. Also, last but not the least, mock exams. FRM GARP gives you 2 mock exams before examinations. And do appear for those. 1 बार दो, 2 बार दो, doesn't matter, but देना. क्योंकि there's a chance that उसी same type का question exam में आ जाए. And when you see that question कि हाँ ये तो मेरा solve मेरे को आता है और वो same type का question है, जो boost मिलता है ना confidence में, trust me, it's immense. So these are the few tips and tricks and strategy that you need to keep in mind to prepare for FRM Part 1. 250 hours of study time I believe is enough, but it totally depends on your capability and your your understanding. There are many people who pursue this course with another course as well, तो उस दूसरे course का background के हिसाब से भी the study hours changes, but standard 250 hours I believe is more than enough. But हाँ, ज़्यादा लगे भी तो कोई बात नहीं, there's no point of doubting yourself. It's good that you're studying more. There's a higher chance of you passing the examinations. Okay, so all the best everyone. Thank you for watching this video, and do contact us if you have any doubts regarding FRM part 1. Thank you.